We have a massive Calgary Flames roster update as the team decided to do some sketchy business by placing some potentially key players on waivers, and one of them has been claimed. With the regular season right around the corner, the final cuts are due to be made, and the plan for the future will be clearer. We're going to get into all that more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family, and we have some roster updates. And you know what? I gotta be honest. When I saw yesterday's news that the Flames placed a few players on waivers, not only was I anxious and worried, I was kind of flummoxed in a way. I gotta be honest. I didn't see it coming. I was a little bit puzzled, and I was a little bit concerned for one name in particular. But so yesterday, the Flames placed Ivan Prosvetov, Rory Cairns, and Ilya Solovyov on waivers. And already, alarm bells are ringing. People are saying, what the heck? Rory Cairns is put on waivers. How did certain people, get a roster spot before him? How does he getting cut? It's not like guys deserved it. And that's, it's totally up to your interpretation. Everyone can have their own opinion. Yes, I think a lot of the fan base thinks Cairns maybe deserves a shot in the NHL over, guys who didn't quite maybe earn it as much. Guys like, a Kirkland, even like a Lomberg and a Klapka, guys like that. And it's interesting too. So Prosvetov, he's going down. That means Cooley gets the backup job. Has he earned it? It's kind of weird. And then Solo, a guy who, you wouldn't think you'd lose to waivers really. Well, there's the first update is that waiver claims, there were 3 today, and Solo was the only one claimed from Calgary, as Coronato claims him. I'm not sure if they have a plan for him. That's quite interesting. Flames legend Cole Schwindt, who we lost to waivers, Vegas has now lost to waivers, and he's back in Florida. So one of the pieces we got in the Huberdeau and Tkachuk trade, it just ends up back in Florida, just making that trade even more of a big L. Thank you so much, Brad. But either way, let's get back to the point here. This means that Cairns remains in the organization after it was a bit of a sketchy 24 hours. A lot of people were thinking, oh my goodness, we might lose this guy. And Prosvetov, I don't think people are too worried about. Solo, you wouldn't think we would have lost, but we have. And look, I'll say it right now, it doesn't feel good to lose Solo. Really good player, but was he in the plans for the future? Maybe one day he'll be a full-time NHLer. I'm just not sure it was going to be with us. I'm not sure if that's going to be with Colorado. It does suck because he was really good when he came in, but we have such a backlog of defensemen that it's not the worst case scenario. What the worst case scenario would have been him and Cairns getting picked up, especially Cairns. But big update, he wasn't picked up. And a lot of people have been talking about Cairns in particular over Solo. So, hey, congratulations to Solo, I guess. Thank you so much for your time with the organization. But let's talk about Rory here. So, Pat Steinberg tweeted out that head coach Ryan Huska says the team sees Cairns as a top 9 player. And this tweet came out right after it was released that Cairns was put on waivers. So something ain't adding up here. Says there's no spot down the middle in the top 9 and they don't want Cairns in and out of the lineup. Huska also stresses lineup decisions, even related to waivers, are very fluid right now. So the Flames kind of got lucky. They got off scot-free here without losing Cairns. So Huska's saying they see Cairns as a top 9 player, but there's just no spot for him and they want him playing meaningful hockey. I suppose that makes sense, but risking losing him and saying that, anything related to the lineup and waivers is fluid is, again, it's risky, and we got lucky this time. I mean, it did hurt slightly to lose Solo. If we had lost Cairns, this would be a very different video. I was expecting to make this is an absolute disaster for the Flames video. That would have been the title, disaster in all caps. Thank goodness it didn't end up being like that. But it's interesting overall. You see him as a top 9 player, yet you demote him to the AHL. I do get it. It is valid, but it's just an interesting way to go about it. And certain people had different takes. Maybe I'm being too, maybe I'm thinking Cairns is too good. But good old Fiery Sharky on Twitter said this to say, my honest take, Cairns was great the first couple of preseason games when he wasn't playing full against a full lineup of NHLers. But the last couple of games, he didn't really stand out as the games had more NHLers on them and he was playing against. You understand what he meant to say. So it's not exactly shocking he is part of the cuts, honestly. And, okay, totally fair enough. At the same time, though, did he do any worse than some of those other guys fighting for a spot? I mean, honestly, I love all of our players. Guys like Lomberg, guys like Klapka, guys like Kirkland. what did they do above Cairns to earn a spot? I don't know. It's valid. Yes, Cairns was better against the worst competition. So was everyone else. That's probably why we lost the last game 8-1. But overall, again, we're so lucky that Cairns is still here. As you know, so many people are writing a lot of things. The win column came out with Justin Kirkland became something of a fan favorite with the Flames last season, but the organization would be better off giving a roster spot to Rory Cairns instead. This was, of course, released before we knew that he had cleared waivers, but we knew he was on waivers when this one came out. So overall, a lot of people are thinking, thank goodness, sigh of relief that Cairns cleared waivers. We still have him. Could definitely, he will see some NHL action at some point this season. I do understand wanting him to obviously play meaningful hockey, but overall, that was, I guess, lucky in a big way. But the Flames do have a plan. So another little roster update that I kind of touched on already and has been obvious, but Devin Cooley has beat Ivan Prosvetov for the Flames' backup goalie position. And this one, again, I was kind of shocked, especially after that Vancouver game. This man gave up 3 goals on 7 shots and earned the backup job. Does this mean Dustin Wolf is playing 82 games this year? Honestly, I've never been so I don't even know what words to use, but I've never been so, just feel like I'm in the thick of just being a true Calgary Flames fan. We lose 8-1 in a game where we play almost a full NHL lineup. What do? We decide to make the goalie who gave up 3 goals on 7 shots the backup confirmed, and you give the coach a contract extension. Terrible timing for both of those things. Whatever. I'm glad Cooley is there. Congratulations to him after all he's fought through, but yikes. I don't know. Here's a last little roster update here. So Jonathan Huberdeau is day-to-day per head coach Ryan Huska. Obviously, he came away in that 8-1 loss with a little injury, as did Pospisil. And Huska says the decision to select Devin Cooley as a backup goalie out of camp came down to slightly more familiarity with the player. And they've been saying this a lot. So that's the same thing with, Cairns going down. There's more familiarity with guys like Kirkland, Klapka, and so forth. So is familiarity really what it boils down to for this? I don't know. Interesting decisions being made here. Maybe the Flames are trying to tank a little bit and they want to get rid of Rasmus Andersson. I know they have a tougher schedule to start and maybe they'll just lose and try and get rid of Raz. And what does the defense market mean as well? With, the Luke Hughes contract. Who's the guy? Lacombe, who just signed as well over in Anaheim. Andersson could ask for $12 million at this point. I don't know. I'm getting a little crazy. I've had such a long week. I'm going a little bit haywire here. But either way, roster updates, it's been interesting overall is what I'll say. Some interesting decisions. And we might get even more clarity as we do have another game tonight. This one once again at the Dome. Hopefully the Flames play a little bit better than they did last time. But they are hosting the Winnipeg Jets. This one goes at 7 p.m. You can obviously get tickets to the game. This one will be streamed once again on the Flames website, not on Sportsnet. And you do need to be in the Flames region. But yes, once again, it does go at 7 p.m. I don't have the full lineup for you, but Pat Steinberg tweeted out that there's no Huberdeau or Pospisil Friday night for Calgary. That means Gridden is in for a final preseason opportunity. He's kind of last chance to make the team. We all kind of know at this point he's not going to. He's waiver exempt, so it's easy sending him down. Plus, he'll develop down there. That's all good. I would love to see him at the NHL level at some point this year, but I don't think it'll be to start off the gates. And then Pahal and Miramanov will sit out on defense. Wolf gets the start versus Winnipeg and goes the full way. That's the plan anyway. Fingers crossed. So we'll see. Again, more of an NHL-ready lineup. A little bit beat up. Some more auditions to be had, but hopefully the Flames show that they're a better team than they were on Wednesday night because, oh my goodness, being a Flames fan is just ridiculous. Now let's get into the comment of the day to wrap up this video, as we love to do here on the channel. It comes from yesterday's video, of course, and it kind of goes perfectly with today's video. So Artie Aaron here says, guess what? Prosvetov and Cairns are on waivers. Cooley is a backup. My oh my. Well, we now know that both of them cleared. Hubie only shoots to the net with his own body. That's how he got hurt. Kadri scores on his own net. He did. And the only goal was from the obvious offside. Yeah, in the 8-1 loss, our one goal was offside. It's true. What an incredible season is about to come. Yeah, if that was any showing, we're going to be hopefully saying tank for McKenna all year long. But we'll, of course, have to see. Now, beg Raz for an extension. He was the only solid D and honestly the best Flame on the ice. And overall, this comment's all over the place. It's very, very interesting. Bit of a different comment and so many interesting opinions there. But either way, it is a strange time in, the Flames world right now. It'll be very interesting to see who are the final cuts. Will Gridden be one of them? Will Parekh be one of them? Just because he's waiver exempt? I doubt it. But at this point, with everything else that's happened, I guess I wouldn't be shocked. But either way, we'll just have to wait and see. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe like you saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.